いつかまた。
What the hell was that?
Hey. One single choice can change everything until the world it leaves behind is unrecognizable. In the world of Dragon Ball, those what-if moments are some of the most interesting parts of the franchise, and today we're diving into a Sparking Zero custom battle that explores a timeline where the ripple effect starts much earlier than we ever expected, as well as a new take on an older timeline. If you're new to the channel, this is a series where I showcase and review your custom scenarios. If you built something you're proud of, drop the code or the details in the comment section down below, and I'll feature it in a future video. That's enough yapping, let's get into the first one. The story drops us right into the heart of the King Piccolo era. Goku is mid-fight, landing a massive blow on the Demon King when a figure descends from the sky. It's Raditz, arriving on Earth years ahead of schedule, but he's been watching from the shadows, tracking Goku's rapid growth from his first encounter with Piccolo to this very moment. Raditz sees a tool, a jump in power that could actually give the Saiyans the leverage they need to eventually overthrow Frieza. Goku, of course, isn't interested in galactic conquest, which leads us into our first fight. Raditz begins to show his little brother that the gap between a human-trained martial artist and a Saiyan warrior is miles apart. But after the fight, Raditz doesn't kill him. Instead, he sees the raw potential and decides to take Goku off-planet, essentially holding the return to Earth as a prize Goku can earn once he's properly seasoned. While this is happening, Piccolo stays hidden to avoid a fight he knows he can't win, but the world doesn't stay defenseless. Kami telepathically reaches out to Ten Shinhan, summoning him to the lookout to begin his training immediately. We fast forward years later to find a drastically more powerful Ten Shinhan confronting the Demon King. In a poetic reversal of history, the new protector of Earth successfully seals Piccolo away with the Mafuba, vowing to stand guard against whatever else the universe throws at them. Meanwhile, out in the stars, Goku's stubborn turtle hermit nature is causing massive friction with the other three Saiyans. It finally hits a breaking point where Goku decides he's done taking orders and takes on the trio. Raditz is sent in first to discipline his brother, but he's completely outclassed. You have to figure that Goku's mindset, that constant drive to improve, combined with the Zenkai boost from fighting planetary threats across the galaxy, has skyrocketed his power. Raditz is broken effortlessly. Nappa steps up next, fueled by a private need to see if he could still handle the low-class brat, but he falls just as easily. This leaves us with the final confrontation, the low-class warrior versus the elite prince. Vegeta is ready to end this nuisance once and for all, while Goku is fighting for the one thing that matters, the chance to finally go home. We take control of Goku as he finally overcomes the prince, obliterating the last of the Saiyan threat. With the battle over, he's finally able to focus on returning home. He commandeers a space pod and sets course for Earth, eventually landing right on Kami's lookout to reunite with his friends. It's such an interesting shift in the timeline, and it makes me wonder how the rest of the series would even function from here. Almost every major saga would play out differently. You have to imagine Goku would spend his time training for the inevitable day Frieza comes looking for him, but then you have the androids to consider. Either they wouldn't be as formidable without the data from the Saiyan conflict, or Zero might have tried to launch a premature attack while Goku was gone, leaving Ten Shinhan as the one to deal with them. Now this next one is a full take of the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie done in the GT universe. The dust has barely settled from the war with the Shadow Dragons when King Kai breaks the silence. He detects a massive chaotic energy that's somehow gone unnoticed during the collapse of Omega Shenron. When Goku and Vegeta descend to investigate, they find an impossible ghost from the past. Frieza has clawed his way out of hell once again, but this time he's brought a brainwashed secret weapon, Broly. Vegeta immediately dismisses Broly as a relic of a dead era, but he's caught completely off guard when the legendary warrior hammers him into a nearby mountain. That disrespect triggers the prince's pride and he flares into a full power Super Saiyan 4. It's a chilling moment for Frieza, seeing the power gap between his pet and the Saiyan elite is nothing short of a chasm. Vegeta eventually grows bored with this one-sided beatdown and charges a final shine attack to end it. Goku attempts to stop him as it feels almost cruel to harm someone so far behind them. As the light of the blast dissipates, the nightmare begins. Broly survives the beam and forces himself into a Super Saiyan state, and suddenly genuine concern starts to creep into the minds of the heroes. Now Broly is trading equal blows with the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, matching him punch for punch. Goku steps in to test his own mettle, but he quickly realizes the rate of Broly's growth is unnatural. In a fit of pure blinding rage, Broly shatters Frieza's mental shackles and ascends to his legendary form. He lets off a blast so devastating it forces a tactical retreat, leaving Goku and Vegeta with no choice but to fuse. Now with the Saiyans off the field, Frieza's left alone with the monster he tried to tame. It's a moment of pure karma. Frieza, who was recently getting toyed with a base form Kid Goku, is now face to face with a force that dwarfs even Goku's peak. Broly doesn't even see him as a threat, he treats the galactic tyrant like a plaything. But just before Broly can deliver that killing blow, Gogeta arrives for the second round. Broly expects another retreat, but what he meets instead is a level of power that completely eclipses his own.
It's over! Time to say goodbye now. Here comes my ultimate attack. This is the end.
Despite Broly's infinite potential, he simply cannot bridge the gap to a Super Saiyan 4 fusion. He's eventually knocked out, left unconscious, leaving Gogeta standing over him. King Kai pleads to Gogeta to finish the job, but after a tense silence, the fusion refuses. Instead, he turns his sight on a fleeing Frieza and sends him screaming back to the other world. The story ends with a quiet moment. Broly wakes up to find Goku and Vegeta offering a hand rather than a fist. Now in the original GT timeline, this is where Goku would depart with Shenron, but it seems the presence of another pure-blooded Saiyan changes that path. Maybe Goku postpones his ascension to train the new protector of Earth, or maybe the thrill of a new rival keeps him in the world of the living for good. It's a brilliant reimagining that keeps the classic Z-era Broly personality while dropping him into a setting where the stakes have never been higher. One thought that always stuck with me during the Goku Black arc was how Zamasu just walked away after stealing Goku's body. Nobody seemed to do anything to stop him or get the body back in that specific timeline. This next custom battle tries to take a more realistic approach to that nightmare scenario. Goku and Goten are out farming when a blinding light hits, and suddenly Goku's staring out of the eyes of a Kai. Before they can even process the swap, a man in Goku's body descends from the sky and immediately attacks. But unlike the story Zamasu told us in Super, the timeline shifts here because of one major factor. Vegeta. Vegeta picks up on this bizarre shift in energy the second it happens and arrives on the scene in time to intercept the fake. He challenges this Goku Black, who finds out the hard way that stealing a body doesn't mean you automatically know how to use it. Even when the imposter taps into Super Saiyan Rose form out of pure desperation as his plans fall apart, he still can't keep up with Vegeta's raw power. Black is killed here before he can ever become that universal threat that we know. In the aftermath, we get the classic Dragon Ball humor. Goku is still trapped in Zamasu's lanky body and is absolutely terrified of how Chi-Chi is going to react when she sees him. Goten warns them that she's already on her way, so they scramble and fly off, leaving Vegeta behind to deal with her temper. Everything eventually gets sorted out once Beerus and Whis are brought into the loop. They use the Dragon Balls to put Goku back where he belongs, and the timeline snaps back to normal. Sometimes these scenarios don't need a massive multi-part follow-up, but that's what we'll call it for today. As always, I want to hear your thoughts. Which of these stories landed for you, and where would you take these timelines next? The Dragon Ball franchise has always thrived on that single question. What if? This game mode has finally given the community the toolkit to actually build those answers. So if you cooked up your own scenario, make sure to drop the details in the comments. I also highly recommend checking out the creators I mentioned today. If you're new to the channel, consider dropping a like and subbing to the journey. It's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of these breakdowns or my other series where I'm catching up on the Dragon Ball games I missed over the last few years. As always, I've been your local overanalyzer Artellings, and I hope you have yourself a damn good one.